Hello everybody. Today I'm going to tell you about Academus CRS, how it works and what you can do with it. So, to start working with Academus CRS, click on this icon on your desktop. Now it's going to load and you'll see the main window. This I don't think we need here. So here we go. To start working with Academus CRS, first you need to create your didactic materials. Normally you would do it with Microsoft PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. And of course we will do it later, but first we need to assign a subject and a topic to our didactic material structure. To do that we go to Class Management, we click here. So as you can see it's loading. And we can see the window of the Class Management module, which is loading our software. And here we go. Here you'll have to log in. I have already registered in the system, but if you haven't, first you need to register. So you'll have to input your username, your password, your name and surname, and your specialty. After doing so, you just press register, you see this window, and here you log in. So I logged in. I've typed my password. Let's have a look what my password is. Okay, so let's click login. Now you see three buttons. Didactic materials, your students, and the results. These are three sub-modules of the classroom management, and we need to go to didactic materials first. So we click here, and here we see physics and electricity here. You will not see anything here, so let's see what you will do. For example, you want to add a new subject. You click this plus, you name your subject as you want it to be, for example, biology. Add it successfully. And here you can see your subject, but still you don't see your topic. To create a topic, you right-click the name of the subject, click Add a topic, and here you add a topic, for example, let's say human. Okay, and now you see here biology human and the previously created subjects. Now, this we can just minimize, and we now want to create our interactive quiz, either in Microsoft PowerPoint or in Microsoft Word, whatever you like more. I like Microsoft PowerPoint. I go here. Okay, PowerPoint is coming to us. Good. So what you see is just an empty screen. By the way, you could have already also opened this PowerPoint from your start menu from here. Doesn't matter, or from your main window of Academus. Doesn't matter, it will open the same PowerPoint anyways. So from here we go to CRS QB, click here, and first what we need to do is click create. Generally the buttons here in the setting are situated subsequently. So to create your interactive quiz, you just press one after another, and until you finish your quiz. Let's see what we do. So first we click create. We create a file. Let's call it physics 3. stream. Save. You can see that I have everything here in Russian, but I'm sure you don't, so don't be afraid. Whatever language you have, you'll have your Academus CRS in English if you downloaded the English version. So here you see the full path where I have my file. It's C, Polytech, Educational Systems, and so on. Now, we need to select a subject. For this, we click Select. And what we see the physics, which I had before, and biology, which we have added just now. I want physics. Double click it. You can see it here now. The same with topic. Double click it. And the session you'll have to name. You can name it as your file, or you can name it differently. I have topic electricity session, for example. I'll have static electricity. Electricity 2, for example. Now let's have a look. Here's our first page. We can see that our subject is physics, topic electricity, session static electricity 2, and here you can input any introductory text that you want. So it can be whatever, notes for your students, it can be a brief description of the session, whatever you think the student should know. Now, to create the next slide, we go here to the empty space, we right click the empty space. Here you can see plenty of Russian stuff, and you click create a new quiz slide. That's what we click here. So what we see that we need to type the quiz title and select any part of its text to save. That's what we are going to do. Basically, the quiz and the question in Academus is the same. So we consider here every question as a separate pop-up quiz. So for you just not to get messed up with this, you must understand that the quiz and the question is the same. So let's ask a question. For example, so which materials are the best electricity conductors? Let's say it's just a sample question. Conductors. So after you have done this, you go to question type. Edit exists here just, if you open the previously created session and you need to change something in it. So we have something totally new, so we go to question type. We are going to have multiple choice here. And I want to give 4 possible choices, A to D. Now let's click generate answers, and you see that we have multiple choices from A to D. So let's give some answers, for example, rubber, metal, let's say copper. What else? Mm, 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 mm. Actually, to start with, I think it will be enough to start with rubber and copper. Rubber and copper. So, okay, here you can add whatever you want to add, any pictures, any videos, whatever PowerPoint can offer you. Now we choose the correct answer, of course it's copper. Deviation answer, if you have more than 3 answers, you can give a deviation answer that you think is acceptable but not exactly correct. So here we have a choice, we have this, we don't have the deviation answer here. If you want to say that you accept this answer, besides B, for example, you accept A, you give the deviation answer. So let's go to settings. Duration in minutes will be 1 minute. This is okay. Auto start, auto stop. Auto start means that when the time is over, it will start, and auto stop the same. When the time is over, it will stop. So here, fine. Now these 2 buttons, what they mean? Reply to user. Let's start from this one. It will show on the student mobile device if he answered correctly or incorrectly. If you don't mark here, he will just not know until you tell him. So we don't want to hide anything from our students, so we click here. And repetition. Now repetition is a little bit of a tricky thing. Repetition gives us the possibility to repeat the question if, for example, not everybody answered or not enough students answered. When we had our testing of Academus system, sometimes we had a problem that some people got disconnected, closed their mobile devices, they ran out of battery, and you had to repeat the question. If you click here and if you mark repetition here, you will be able to repeat the question when everybody's online. If not, it will stay as is. For example, 2-3 students went out of the network, the others answered, that's it. You cannot change it. The others will have 0. So let's try without repetition, and we need to save. Let's select the title for the quiz. Here what we should do. This is very easy. Remember it said that select any part of the text and save. So that's what we are going to do. Well, for example, I want to say just best electricity conductors. Like this, I will remember my question. And I press save. That's just selecting it and saving, nothing else. Now your question in your session will be named like this, best electricity conductors. So, okay, we save the file also. And we are ready with our first part. Now let's have a look at another story. We are more or less done with this test quiz. Now let's go to our previously prepared session, which is called Zero Acceleration. So here we have some text, the equipment, the method of doing the experiment. Here we can see the description of the experiment, some pictures, some screenshots, And here we have questions. I have had this uh, PowerPoint from long ago, and now I want to turn it interactive. So what do I do? Again, I go to our add-in to CRS QB, Question Builder. So I click here. I click Create. As the file is saved, I don't see the save file window. I go directly here. I go to Physics, double click it. I go to Electricity. Well, acceleration is definitely not electricity, so let's go a little bit back to our didactic materials. We see physics with electricity here. Let's create one more topic. We right click physics, click add a topic, and acceleration is what? Acceleration is mechanics. And let's add a topic mechanics. Okay. So mechanics is here, and let's go back to our topic. So here we see mechanics, double click it, and the session is called zero acceleration. Okay, so we save it. We don't want to edit any interactive stuff here. Now we see that it's multiple choice, A to D. So as you can see, the questions appear, the spaces for the questions appeared. No problem, you can delete them manually, like this. Or you can just unclick generate answers. And that's it. It doesn't matter if the questions appear on the screen or no. If the answers appear on the screen or no, which were generated from here. What matters is what you put here. Here you can see on the screen, you can have whatever you want. It matters what we put here. So my guys are telling me that all of the above is right. So I will not argue with them, and I just choose D. So I don't think we have a deviation answer here. So settings, let's make it a little bit longer. Auto start, auto stop, save. Repetition, let's try to have repetition here. So completion is how much do you expect to be completed. For example, if you have, let's take a very easy example, 10 students in your class. If you put here 90%, it means that you want 9 of 10 students to answer the question. If you put 100%, you want everybody to answer the question. So I want everybody to answer, so I'll leave it 100. Actually, no, 8. 8 of 10. Okay. So I click save. No, I don't click save because, as you remember, we need to have the title of our question. Zero acceleration is the title of the session, and the title of the question will be, well, let's have the whole of the name of it, and I okay, and I am ready with my question. Let's move to another one. Don't forget that you'll have to pass through all of the questions. Now again, here we have true false. See, here is not active because it's true false. Generate answers we don't need. Correct answer is true. So settings 2, repetition reply 80. We select the whole question and we click save. Okay, so save your file just in case. And you are done. You are ready with our didactic materials. As you can see, we have static electricity 2 session here, zero acceleration session in mechanics. That's enough to see how it works. And now we are ready to go to our response management and to make an interactive session. But to go to response management, we need to have a class. We don't have a class here, so we need to create it. Again, it's very easy. You just click a plus. You call your class, for example, K, I don't know, 9, whatever. So you confirm this and your class is registered. So select it and you might want to add a student to a class. Click a plus here. Well, I will be my own student. Olga. Let's take a nice nickname like the beautiful. It will be too beautiful. Let's have it no. Student's username Olga no. Password Olga no. The password should be only 4 digits. Let's have it 1, 2, 3, 4. Gender, sometimes I doubt what it is, but it's a female. And date of birth will not show. So let's give something like closer to students' dates of birth. And we can confirm it now. So now I am a registered student of my class. So here I am in class K9. And I think we're ready. So from here, after having finished this, you can tell your students to log in to their mobile devices to CR50. Done with creating a class with a list of students. So we should go back to our main window and we're ready to start a session. Let's have a look. It's too many things to load, but it's okay. So to log in, click user button. You see a small window here. Here's our user button. Okay. So as you remember, my username was Olga, my password was also Olga. I log in, so here I am. And so my class monitor is not connected yet here, as you can see. So I need to go to my class monitor now. Okay. My class monitor is loading. So here we go. What we see here. Let's click. You see, I clicked here and it got connected. And here I can expand the window now. I need to open presentations, my didactic materials. So let me choose now one of my didactic materials. Let me open it. So you can see the list of what I have, not much. I want zero acceleration. So I can see it here in the list. It's the second one for me. But you can also type here what you're searching for if you have a big list. So immediately you can see that you have two zero acceleration experiments. So we choose zero acceleration. And here we go. So this is what your students see. Basically, you need to have two screens to run the presentation. One big screen or projector or your interactive board will be showing this to your students, and you will be looking at another screen on your laptop. So let me here. Now it's going to be a little bit inconvenient because I need to show you on two screens what's going on. So I'll be just switching between the two screens. So remember, this is the student screen and this is your screen, right? What you have to do next is to connect your students. Now we need to go to settings. This is the help menu. Settings, here we go. So the important thing here is the IP address. You write it down, I will write it down also. And the students will have to input the same number in their mobile applications. So let's connect students now. So here I am with my Samsung Android phone. And now let's see how I connect to our response management. Let me find Academus CRS application. Here it is. And the first thing you will be asked when you open the application for the first time is to set it. Let's go to settings. Here you type the IP server that you find in the settings of your response management desktop application. I have already typed here my IP server number. The port server should stay 3000, don't change it. The network name, you will see your network, and let's click save. So now we remember that my username was Olga No as a student. My password is 1234. Okay, done. And I log in. So here I am in my application, and I'm ready to answer the questions of the quiz. So let me go to my quiz. Here's the first question. Now, as you can see, I have only 4 choices, the multiple choice from A to D. It became orange, and I want to respond D. Now I need to click OK, otherwise I can change for B, for C. So I click OK, and I send my answer. The system responded that I was right. Let's go to another one now. So here I can answer only true or false, they're orange. And here I answer false, which is incorrect. I send my reply, and that was wrong. Now let's have a look what is going on when the kids are answering the quizzes from their mobile devices. So again, let's go to our presentations, to our sessions. Here is what our students see on the big board, on the whiteboard, or on the big screen. And let's go back to the response management. So, when you ask your students to connect, let me connect just to show you, you will see a class map. Okay, done, enter. So you can see here that I enter the class, here is the class map, and whoever else enter the system will be shown here, like this small gray box. So when you start showing your session, here, let me show you. Okay, here it is. You show your session. Here you don't have any questions. Here you don't have any questions. And so here you have a question. Immediately you'll see this small blue window that shows you basic percentage of correct answers, of wrong answers. Let's go back to our response management. So, for example, I answer D. Now I send my answer, and here we go. The system shows that I answered correctly. Again, it will show the same for all the students that are connected, who answered correctly, who answered incorrectly. And here in this window, when the condition will be, when the completion will be equal or more than the condition, so you will be able to move on to the next question. So now we are definitely able to move on to the next question. And let's show the next question. Okay. So now I will answer false, which as far as I remember was wrong. I press OK, and you can see that I gave a wrong answer. Now, what I would like to tell you about this small window, as you remember, we left the repetition open, so we can repeat the question. So every time you want to finish the question, you just press log a question. So, okay, if we go back, you can see that I can answer again. Now I answer B, send OK, and you see, now I answered 3 questions, so it's like 3 parts chart by. So here I would also like to log the question, and we are done. The next question is logged, and we have finished the session. You're on the last page, so we want to close the session. As you can see here in my box, although I gave a correct answer first, the system overrode my answer. So we can see that I have 2 wrong answers now. So when you want to log to finish the question, you need to log it every time. If in your question builder you put a mark in front of the repetition field. So we close the session and we are done. After finishing your interactive session, you can go to the management module of our software to check the results of your students. To do so, you click Management. Let's wait for it to open. So here you need to log in again. Okay. And now let's go first to see my students, just to recall what we can do there. So let's click My Students. We remember that we have class K9. Here we have one student, me. So what you can do here is to add a class, to delete a class, and then in the class you can add a student. You can delete a student. And here are two more buttons which I want you to know about. So clicking this Excel button, you can export the class data to Excel. So let's see how we can do that. So let's name this file, for example, K9, not 90. Here you can see where it's going to be exported, to which directory. If you want to change it, you are more than welcome. Here I have some more Russian stuff. For example, I want to export my class details to the desktop. So I click my desktop, here is K9, and I click Save. Now let's wait for the program to work. So if you can see here, the K9 here, the file was created. We don't want to open the file directory, so we say no. And let's open our K9. So here we click yes. And not too much information. We just have my name, my surname, my gender, and my username. And that's it. So let's close this file. And let's go now to the other button. So here's one more button where you can make a student report. So let's click this button. And here you can see all the results that the students have. So here we can see that I answered 3 sessions. I participated in 3 sessions. All of them basically were 0 acceleration, but different time. Here you can see the time. And you can choose which results you want to export to Excel. And here you again can click the Excel button. So these buttons are to choose by topic, by session, or by subject. Here you can make a detailed report or just the percentage. So let's close this and we can go to the results. So let's go now to the results. So we choose results, and here first you need to click this calendar button to select a session. So let's click this. You can select a session for K9, or you can check this small field uh, to see the sessions without any class orientation. Let's do that. So we have results for static electricity, and we have results for zero acceleration. I want the results for zero acceleration. Let's choose these results. I click OK. So here you're going to see the list of students, and you will see the percentage or the graphic charts of how they answered. So as you can see, I gave one correct answer for one question, and for the other one I gave a wrong answer. So I have average of correct session results 50%. Now let's go back to percentage. So if we want to see what was the question exactly, we should press this button. So we choose a question here. We click this button and we see what was the question. We can see the question title and we can see what was the correct answer. Okay, so with this Excel button, again, we can export the results to Excel. And here is a button that allows us to exclude some students from this session. What it means. For example, a student wanted to come out of the class, he didn't feel well, or his battery went flat and he couldn't answer the questions, or he could not answer the questions for some other reasons. So that allows us to exclude a student. So as we have only one student, me, we cannot exclude me now. Actually, we can try to do this like this. No. We have only one student and we cannot exclude him. Okay. But remember about this button, so that to be able to exclude students from the results. So clicking here, you can see the results for the session. And I think that's it. One more function that the class management has inside is the bonus field. So by default, when a student answers the question correctly, he gets 100 as his result. But if the teacher thinks that this question was worth more than 100, he can add a bonus. So, for example, he wants to add 20. He added a bonus, and here you see that you should right-click to update the bonus. So you do that. You go to grade, and you right-click the grade field. You click update, and you see that the bonus is saved. Now I have 0 for my incorrect answer, and I have 120 for my correct answer. All the results can be exported to Excel. The questions and the session can be exported to Excel for the further report. So these are the main functions that Academus has. If you have any questions about it, you can click on the owl, where you can get the help menu. So let's try doing that. So here you can see everything that you might need, and you can go to whatever you see here and read furthermore about the buttons, about the functions, and to see some slide demos and so on and so forth. I hope that this video helped you a little bit to understand Academus CRS, and see you on my YouTube channel. Thank you for your attention.